Why is it that you don't actually dislike socializing, yet after being around people for a short while, you naturally want to slip away to a quiet corner on your own, to let your thoughts move slowly, to take apart the conversation you just had, to let your mind run like an engine settling into its rhythm? Why do you always feel compelled to go one layer deeper, to ask why something unfolded the way it did? What emotion or motive might be hiding behind someone's calm expression? Or how an ordinary system is really held together by its rules and hidden fractures? And why is it that in almost any setting you instinctively observe first instead of rushing to speak? You notice emotional shifts other people miss, small inconsistencies in conversation, a brief flicker in someone's eyes, a contradiction hidden in a gesture. And only then do you choose the right moment to speak. If these moments touch something in you, then today's conversation is not about why you always feel different from everyone else, and it is not about being too sensitive or thinking too much. What we're really uncovering is a quieter, deeper truth that these seemingly ordinary habits often appear in people whose cognitive style is more refined and whose minds process information in deeper layers. They are not strange. They are simply used to seeing the world more fully, more gently, and more clearly. On the surface, these habits can look like personality, but the truth is the brain does not come with a simple off switch. A gathering is in full swing. Everyone is absorbed in laughter and conversation. And then, almost without realizing it, you take a step back. You begin to notice who is subtly steering the conversation, who is trying a little too hard to fit in, whose smile carries a trace of strain, whose eyes keep briefly looking away. Your body is still there, but your attention has shifted into observation mode, as if you were watching the whole thing in slow motion. This is not distance, and it is not arrogance. It is your mind running on two tracks at once, one part participating in the moment, the other quietly analysing the structure beneath it. The same thing happens at work. A meeting ends. Other people gather their notes and leave with the conclusion and the action points. But you leave with the whole process taken apart in your head. Why was that decision accepted so easily? What variable did everyone overlook? If one assumption changed, would the entire outcome look different? Who ended up shaping the direction without anyone noticing? These questions do not disappear easily. They continue while you walk. They continue in the shower. And late at night, they quietly return on their own. There are other signs too. You rehearse multiple versions of future conversations in your mind. You can easily say, "I'm not sure," or "I don't know," because you are aware of the limits of your own knowledge. You become deeply curious about small things that others barely notice and keep asking why they are the way they are. When someone tells you a story, you instinctively begin filling in missing pieces or correcting the logic in your head. People often say, "You think too much. Just relax." But a more accurate description would be this: you are not thinking too much. Your brain is simply processing information at a much greater density and complexity than most people do. This is not a burden. It is the natural state of a high cognition mind. These patterns are not random quirks. They are different expressions of the same underlying cognitive system. When most people receive information, the process ends as soon as it feels understood. But for you, that's only the beginning. Information doesn't stay on the surface. It gets broken down, reconstructed, and placed into different scenarios to be tested again and again. You're not satisfied with what happened. You need to know why it had to happen this way, what would change if one condition shifted, and what assumptions are quietly holding everything together. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman described human thinking as two systems. System 1, fast, intuitive, automatic, almost effortless. It handles everyday life, recognizing a familiar face, avoiding a moving car, making quick judgments without thinking. It's efficient, emotional, and built on patterns and experience, and most people rely on it almost all the time. Then there is System 2, slow, deliberate, effortful. It handles reasoning, weighing options, managing uncertainty, and working through complexity. Like carefully comparing two job offers, tracking multiple outcomes in a difficult decision, or solving a problem that has no obvious answer. For most people, System 2 is only used occasionally. But for you, even slightly complex situations can pull you into it. And once you're there, you don't just dip in, you stay. Your prefrontal cortex works like a background processor that never fully shuts down, constantly monitoring, simulating, adjusting, and predicting what comes next. The result is simple, a higher cognitive load. The more variables there are, the more relationships to track, the more your mind engages. So when people say you can't stop thinking or you overanalyze everything, what they're really seeing is not a flaw. It's a mind that naturally follows a more complete path of thought. This isn't a problem, it's your brain operating at a higher resolution. When you step back and look at these patterns together, they stop looking like isolated habits and begin to form a coherent system, a system built for depth, clarity, and stable decision-making. Where others rely on instinct or past experience, you tend to see structure. Where others stop at surface-level information, you naturally look for hidden variables and internal contradictions. Where others move on feeling, you move through verification, adjustment, and then action. In the short term, this difference isn't always obvious. Sometimes it even gets mistaken for hesitation or overthinking. But as complexity increases and as time stretches out, this system begins to show its strength. When something breaks, others see the symptom. You trace it back to the original fault line. When learning something new, others remember conclusions. You understand the principles, the limits, and why it works. When facing major decisions, others rely on instinct. You map out possibilities and move toward the most stable path within uncertainty. Carl Jung once said, "Real growth is not about accumulating more information, but about upgrading the way you understand the world. And whether you realized it or not, you've already begun that upgrade." The real advantage has never been faster reactions or louder confidence. It is depth. It is clarity. It is the ability to see further and to stay grounded in what you see. This is not luck, and it is not something you were simply given. It is the result of sustained attention, of observing, breaking things down, and refining your understanding over time. What others sometimes call insight is, in reality, the accumulation of patience and depth. And when used well, it becomes your quietest yet sharpest advantage. At some point, you may begin to realize something quietly. These patterns were never what separated you from the world. They are what allow you to see further, move more steadily, and reach deeper than most. Where others stop at outcomes, you return to causes. Where others are pulled by immediate emotion and noise, you are already tracing multiple possible futures. Where others lose clarity in complexity, you are able to hold a rare kind of focus inside the chaos. Psychologist Keith Stanovich once pointed out, what truly separates people is not intelligence alone, but how that intelligence is used. And the moment you begin to understand how your own mind works, you gain something far more valuable than any raw ability: direction. You can decide what deserves your attention, what problems are worth your depth, and where your thinking should be applied. You don't need to become more outgoing, more effortless, or faster to react. You don't need to simplify yourself to match the world around you. You only need to recognize this tendency to go deeper and aim it at something that truly matters. Because in the end, what determines how far you go, what kind of impact you leave, is not how much you know. It is how deeply you are willing to understand. This is happy psychology. If you've ever felt like your mind doesn't quite slow down, maybe it was never meant to, and maybe it was always meant to take you further.